Welcome back to True Crime All the Time. Here, we take a slow walk through the shadows of history, exploring forgotten crimes, mysterious disappearances, and the unanswered questions that still echo in the dark. So get comfortable, thank you for watching, and let's begin. Welcome to another quiet journey through one of history's enduring mysteries. Tonight, we explore the strange and haunting disappearance of Paula Welden, a case that, even after more than 75 years, remains unsolved. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's drift back in time, to a chilly afternoon in 1946 Vermont. Paula Jean Welden was 18 years old, a sophomore at Bennington College. She was quiet, smart, and artistic. On Sunday, December 1, 1946, Paula told her roommate she was going for a hike. She put on a red parka, jeans, and sneakers. No purse, no money, just her coat and a plan for fresh air. She left the campus around 2:45 p.m. Witnesses saw her walking toward the trailhead of the Long Trail, a popular path near the Green Mountains. She never came back. By Monday morning, Paula's professors noticed she'd missed class. Her roommate hadn't seen her. Campus staff raised the alarm, and by midweek, a full-scale search was underway. The military, state police, bloodhounds, and even planes combed the forest. But no trace of Paula was found. No footprints, no clothing, no clues. It was as if she had vanished into the trees. Speculation spread quickly. Some believed Paula had gotten lost, that the cold and the wilderness had claimed her. Others whispered darker theories, of foul play, perhaps at the hands of someone she met on the trail. A local man was even questioned after allegedly boasting that he knew what happened to her, but no evidence ever tied him to Paula's disappearance. Still others believed she had run away, to start a new life, free of expectations. But those who knew Paula said she was happy, focused, not the type to disappear without a trace. In the weeks that followed, the trail went cold. The case sparked public outrage over Vermont's lack of a state police force, and in fact, Paula's disappearance directly contributed to the formation of the Vermont State Police in 1947. But her family never found answers, and the Green Mountains kept their secret. To this day, no one knows what happened to Paula Welden. Her story remains one of New England's most enduring mysteries. Our next case has puzzled investigators, haunted a family, and remained unsolved for nearly 80 years. This is the story of the Sodder Children, 5 siblings who vanished without a trace after a mysterious fire destroyed their family home. Let's go back to a snowy Christmas Eve in 1945, in the small town of Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family was large and close-knit. George and Jenny Sodder had 10 children, and on the night of December 24, 1945, the house was full of life and laughter. That evening, 5 of the children, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, asked to stay up late and play with new toys. Jenny agreed, and she went upstairs to bed. Sometime after midnight, she awoke to a strange sound, a loud thud on the roof, followed by silence. Moments later, smoke began to fill the house. The home was engulfed in flames. George and Jenny escaped with 4 of their children, but the other 5, who had stayed up late, were nowhere to be found. George smashed windows, burned his hands, and even tried to climb to the attic where the children were last seen, but the ladder he always kept by the house was missing. The fire department, delayed by wartime staffing issues, didn't arrive until hours later. By morning, the Sodder home was nothing but ash. Authorities claimed the children had perished in the fire. But something didn't sit right. No human remains were ever found in the ashes, not even bones or teeth. Experts later confirmed that the fire hadn't burned hot enough to destroy 5 bodies completely. And that wasn't the only strange detail. The phone line had been cut. The missing ladder was later found hidden in a nearby ditch. A witness claimed to have seen the children peering from a car window as the fire raged. Another said they saw them alive, in a hotel, days later. The Sodders believed their children had been taken, and they never stopped searching. For decades, George and Jenny Sodder followed every lead, no matter how unlikely. They put up billboards, hired private investigators. One day, they received a photo in the mail of a young man who looked strikingly like their missing son, Louis. On the back were strange words: Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, lil boys, a 90,132. But no one could explain where it came from. In our next story, we travel to a lonely farmstead in rural Germany, nearly a century ago. A place where 6 people lost their lives in silence, and where the killer may have stayed after the crime. This is the haunting mystery of the Hinterkaifeck murders. So take a deep breath, and let's drift back to March of 1922. The Gruber family lived on a secluded farm called Hinterkaifeck, about an hour from Munich. It was remote, isolated, quiet, and in the days before the murders, things started to feel off. Andreas Gruber, the family's patriarch, told neighbors he'd seen footprints in the snow, leading from the forest to the house, but none going back. He heard footsteps in the attic, but found nothing. The house keys disappeared, and the family maid suddenly quit, claiming the house was haunted. 6 months later, the family hired a new maid. Her first day would be her last. On the night of March 31, 1922, someone lured 4 members of the family, Andreas, his wife Kazilia, their daughter Victoria, and their granddaughter, into the barn, one by one. There, they were killed, with a mattock, a kind of pickaxe. Then, the killer entered the house, and murdered the 2-year-old grandson in his crib. And finally, the maid. She had arrived that very day. All 6 were left in place, covered gently with hay and sheets. The crime wasn't discovered for 4 days. Neighbors noticed no one had been seen. Mail piled up, but smoke still rose from the chimney. When police arrived, they found food had been eaten. The animals fed, the dog alive. It appeared the killer had stayed, maybe for days. The police questioned neighbors, former lovers, criminals, even Victoria's rumored ex, but no one was ever charged. Clues were baffling. The phone line had been cut. A strange newspaper was found in the home. No one knew where it came from. Even more disturbing, one of the victims had tufts of hair torn out. Another's fingers were broken, possibly from trying to fight back. But still, no murder weapon was ever found. And no one confessed. Thank you for joining us for another step into the unknown. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know what mysteries you'd like us to explore next.